Aloha and welcome once again. This is Brendon, and you're listening to another Paradigm Shift Central Conscious Media Co-op production meeting for Monday, January 21st, 2019, the full moon edition, woot woot. And of course, we're here once again with a fellow team of awesome conscious creators as part of the Paradigm Shift Central project, a portal for creating inspirational conscious media. And what we're going to do here, we're going to get right into talking about some new tips and tricks leading into the week. We're going to check in to be able to see what people are setting for their intentions for working on media, as well as being able to start brainstorming on some collaborative ideas, as well as we also share some updates on the current status of the website as we get ready to do the soft launch of it moving throughout this week and start introducing some new formats and new routines and getting really pumped up about what it is that we're creating together. So before we get right into the official introduction, I just want to be able to invite everybody here to gently unmute their microphones and just say hello and welcome and aloha to everybody who's listening to this in the future. So go right ahead, everyone. So
Hello.
hello, aloha.
Welcome. And aloha.
Thank you for being here. You are awesome.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being
Oh my goodness.
here.
Thank you for your being.
Here. Awesome. Sweet. All right. Thank you, everyone. We got currently in the chat, we got Josh, Genna, we got Manders, and we got Matthew and Yuga. And welcome, Matthew. This is Matthew's first time in the production meeting, but Matthew has been involved with the Paradigm Shift Central project in a while, and we'll give him a chance to do a little introduction as we go around the circle. So keeping things pretty concise with this production meeting in terms of updates for the project. Basically at this point, we last night, first of all, I'll just mention this, we did an awesome super blood wolf moon guided meditation, and the feedback on that has been super awesome. I'm really proud of myself for kind of like stepping forward with doing that, because like there was a period where I was like, oh, like maybe I'll do it Monday evening, or maybe I'll not do it, or something like that. But for me, and me telling you this is I want you guys to be able to reflect on when the universe kind of gives us those like moments of opportunities, like those kind of like windows of opportunity to kind of like really step into a synchronization or a creation or something that can be very, very powerful to share at a certain point or to do at a certain point, such as like a certain meditation and things like that. And so if you kind of like feel that within yourself where it's just like, okay, like, you know, like I really want to be able to synchronize my post with this certain time or this certain window or this certain relevancy, really feel that and really listen to yourself to see that as an opportunity to kind of like step into that. And so last night we did our meditation like in sync with the eclipse, and again, super powerful. If you haven't listened to it yet, you can check it out on my YouTube channel at Skull Babylon. And again, the feedback was really great. It was really powerful, and just kind of, again, like the intention behind me doing that was like creating the narrative that would help like lead people further into their own story. And so without having to get into any spoilers, yeah, thank you again, everyone who was able to tune into that as well. So that happened last night, and so that happened as a bit of like an easy launch into the website, getting ready to begin doing a soft launch for it later today. And by soft launch, that essentially means that we're just kind of like slowly starting to put it out to people outside of our co-op. So obviously the people in the co-op, we've posted the links in the production chats, and you guys, most of you have seen that. Most of you have created your profiles. If you haven't yet, you can still do that. No rush, but just do it when you can. And so a soft launch is just kind of, okay, you know, like let's start putting it out there and let's start getting that feedback. Let's start tweaking it as we need to. Let's just start slowly like bringing it into people's attention, opposed to just being like, okay, let's blast it everywhere. We'll just kind of like start dripping it in, and we're going to start doing that throughout the week. So tonight I'm going to do that, and there's a post that I have up about the full moon, which is actually an article that I wrote quite a while ago actually, but we're repurposing it. And yeah, we're going to play with that, and I'm also like adding a little bit more new content as well, and at the same time reminding everyone here that they can start practicing creating their content on the main website. Though bear in mind that we'll kind of be like scheduling your posts in when it fits like the right time for them to be posted, and that will kind of be happening naturally as we move through the project. But again, throughout the evolution of the website, we kind of want to move into this idea where there's like at least like one new featured post like each day. That way, so it gives that person like that spotlight, and that spotlight would be something focused on through through the Instagram posts, like through posting it to my Instagram stories, and also like by us manually sharing it to Facebook groups and things like that. So like each day it will kind of be a chance to kind of like highlight that individual creator in the community. And again, with everyone here, just reminding you that the content we want in the community in the website is really focusing on the criteria of inspirational, educational, and entertaining, and also keeping in mind that the content is going to be a way for people to be invited back to your content for your specific channels. So we're not necessarily going to be posting every single thing we create on the website, but really we're kind of posting the things that we feel are a good representation of who we are, something that is like, you know, just not super casual, a little bit more polished, something that we've put that extra work in, and something that we feel stands as a good reflection of the value that we are providing. And again, keeping with that aim to allow the audience to develop a relationship with Paradigm Shift Central, where they feel that when they go there and they check out new content, they know that they're receiving like quality, and they know that they're receiving inspiration. So we want to be able to honor that person's time by visiting the website. So when they visit the website, they'll be like, oh sweet, you know, that was an awesome video that left me feeling inspired, that released some dopamine, and I want to check out more of this person's content. So in terms of that, again, check out the links in the production note to go to the website, create your profile if you haven't yet. The simple thing I'll just remind you guys, when you're creating your content, when you go to new posts, always click save to draft. So not save and publish. That's very important, because of the way Wix, the platform, is set up. It doesn't allow me to, like, there's no kind of, the way how we do it, by saving it to draft, that gives us a chance to approve the post before we publish it. Whereas if you were to just click save and publish, then that would put it live. And if I haven't gone over it with you, and if maybe there's some slight changes, then we would have to like duplicate it, delete it, and then put it back to draft. So just bear that in mind. And again, we'll get more into the flow of that as we keep going. But that's like a little extra important thing. Save to draft when you create your content. So moving forward, I want to be able to just give you guys some simple suggestions in terms of creating content, because, you know, every single day is an opportunity to be able to brainstorm new content. And so one thing that I want to be able to invite every person here to do, if you haven't yet, is to be able to purchase a small journal, like literally just like a flip pad notebook type thing. So not like a super expensive journal, literally like the ones that you can buy for like $2 at your local computer store or wherever, bookstore, or wherever you can get them, Staples if you're in Canada. And basically just using that to like write down like short point form ideas or phrases, things that you can also turn into Instagram quotes, like things that you can create into an expanded dialogue within a write-up for Instagram, and just using it as a chance to be able to really capture those little moments of inspiration that happen throughout the day. So, you know, you might be on the bus and you might just kind of be looking out the window, and suddenly an idea comes to you and just be like, oh, that was a really great idea. Like, I'm going to remember that. There's no way I'm going to forget it. But honestly, if you don't write it down, you might forget it. And that's just like kind of human nature. So really use the journaling method as like an external hard drive for you to be able to make sure that you're capturing those little moments of inspiration as they pop up. So again, go get a little tiny journal, like as cheap as one as you can, get a pen, and just keep that in your pocket. Like that's the concept. We want a journal that you can fit in your pocket, basically, so that you can have it with you wherever you go. And so that's a little tip that I want to be able to share with you guys. I know some of you are probably already doing something similar, but again, just putting that out there. Another thing that I want to be able to give you guys some suggestion on is that, similar with journaling, as we get more into the flow of creating content, there's a website that I want to be able to bring your attention to called evernote.com. And I'll put this in the production notes. Evernote, evernote.com. Evernote.com is basically a really cool platform that allows you to synchronize note writing between a desktop and mobile, and it saves it to like a central cloud location. So this is a really cool thing where if you're writing something on your desktop and then you got to like run out the door, you can access that on your mobile like super easily. So it's just like a really cool way to be able to categorize notes and to be able to keep things a little bit more organized and a little bit more concise, and to always have access to those awesome ideas that you're creating. And that way, since it's on the cloud, if you know you happen to lose a piece of technology like your phone or your laptop, you'll still have those notes in your profile on Evernote. So for everyone here, giving you the invitation to create a profile on Evernote, it's free to use as well. And so moving forward into the project, again, I just want to be able to keep things pretty simple here, and we'll go around the circle, and I just want to be able to give people a chance to share some of their intentions in terms of media for this week. And again, this might be similar to what you're working on last week as well. So tell me a little bit about any videos that you feel called to create, or videos or content that you would like to be able to create into your first post for Paradigm Shift Central, if you're at that point where you're feeling ready for that. And then also, as we go around the circle, I would just want to be able to invite people to be able to start brainstorming what are some ideas that you feel you might want to collaborate on. Because as we move forward in the project, being able to work together on projects is one of the benefits of being in the co-op, and that's like such a powerful idea. So again, that can be something where, you know, somebody is contributing like images or contributing stockpile video, or somebody's like working together with music or graphics, and just kind of thinking about it from like the get back into that feeling of like being in a classroom and doing like a little group project with like even just one other person, and kind of feel into that and think about something, you know, like what could I do working alongside someone that I might not be able to do by myself. So just start thinking about that, and if you got some ideas, just kind of lay those out as we go around the circle, that way so it invites other people to hear them and people to be like, oh, you know, like maybe I want to collaborate with you on that. Maybe that's something that we can work together on. So I want to be able to hear that. I want other people to be able to hear that, and just kind of opening up the pathways for that. So I'll start first just by going around what are some of my media intentions for this week. Of course, working on the main project is going to be one of my main things. For me, I'm also, since the website is going more live, I'm also going to be getting back into the flow of being able to create regular daily Instagram content that is intentionally inspirational. Like that's something that I really enjoy. And, you know, for everyone here, like it's really important for us to be in that consistency as a creator, because I really feel that kind of like how that creates the momentum. So once you kind of like have that momentum going, it can become like easier and easier to create. So, you know, like you start off at the start of your week, create like a little Instagram post or something like that, and then you just get into the routine where you're doing that every single day. I was at a psychic expo yesterday and I picked up a little book, and this book has like 365 days, aka pages worth of like little inspirational kind of thoughts and everything like that. And so for me, that was really cool, because now I can use this as a resource where I can kind of like flip it open, get some ideas from it, and kind of like turn those into a post using my own words and my own perspectives on it. So for anybody here who's kind of looking for ways to start getting ideas, start looking for little books that you might find that may be useful to just kind of like give you those little extra perspectives. It's totally okay. You want to be able to use those little resources to help you kind of like integrate new inspiration every single day, because there's always something to talk about. There's always a new post to be able to put out. And and so other things that I'm going to be working on, once we get the website up, I'm going to be putting some old posts back up online and just kind of focusing on that. And and then I mentioned before, I also want to be getting into all my free time working on some 360 VR meditation. That's something I want to work on. But I'm honestly going to just like spend some time focusing on the website. And then once I'm there, I'm going to probably just like take some time to sit and listen and feel what my next video is that I want to create. I haven't fully decided on what my next video is. So my next step is just going to be kind of like sit and listen and know that like there's like going to be that next video for me to create. And it may be my introduction video for the website. So that's just one thing I'm thinking of. So in terms of collaboration for myself, some things that I want to be able to collaborate, I want to be able to collaborate with like musicians in the community. I want to be able to collaborate with people who are graphic artists as like animation as well, because that kind of I want to move towards this idea of actually creating a new video of an old poem that I wrote called Wake Up. Some of you have probably heard this poem, but I kind of want to do it similar to the poem that I did earlier at the New Year, and kind of like really having it as like this psychedelic journey with this very powerful like spoken word. And I may film it on camera, but that's going to involve collaboration in terms of working with some other people who are skilled in the animation department. And I'm honestly working on are some people in the community, but they're not immediately in the co-op, so we're just kind of like gently kind of bringing people into the co-op as well. So those are just some of the ideas that I'm feeling called to be able to collaborate on. But of course, if there's other things that you feel I might be able to help you with collaborating on, then I'm open to hearing some of those ideas as well. So so that's all I have to share for now, and let's go around the circle. And thank you again everyone for being here. So again, just what are some of your media intentions for this week, and what are some things that you might want to collaborate on with other people in the co-op in the future. So it might not even be like, like not to say this week or next week, it might be in a month from now or whatever, but just start planting those seeds and just kind of help you verbalize that so other people can hear it. Okay, so let's go around the circle. If somebody wants to unmute themselves, they're welcome to do that, and we'll pass it over to
A little bit.
you.
Stay on the call, but
Yeah, go ahead, Yuga.
all right. So with the blood moon last night, a lot of stuff came up. I did a thing and got some insight. Thoth made contact, and for media production, I guess the shift of focus is heading towards crystal skulls, leading to energy, mostly for the self, for the healer. And as far as co-op, I would definitely like to get more people involved, doing either like the radionic sessions or doing some energy healing live on either YouTube or Instagram. Just getting and having people experience my own gifts, but also a little bit to see the radiant. But right now, I'm kind of putting the radiant on the back burner. I'm still going to be doing the water, but I really feel like I'm still. And as far as collaborating with other people, I've been doing the live broadcasts on other channels for a while, so I'm familiar with that. And if anyone wants to have me involved and bring some drag crystals or whatever they feel they need, then I'm opening myself up to that. So leave it there, keep it sweet, short. I feel really good after the blood moon. And like I said, I'll be on the call. I got some stuff to take care of. So thanks for listening, guys.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Yuga. Yeah, and actually that reminds me. Thank you for mentioning that as well, Yuga, because another thing that I want to be able to collaborate on, as well as encourage other people to collaborate on, is doing like kind of like the shared Instagram lives or other lives and things like that with other members in the community. And I know some of you have actually been doing that, and we'll pass it to Josh because I know Josh and as well as Genna and again other people in the community. You guys have already been playing with that.
I was done, just so if anyone wanted to pop in.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. I had myself muted on your channel, but I was still recording in the recording, so let me just repeat that. Yuga, thank you, what I just said. Thank you for sharing that, and you mentioning that actually just reminded me of a couple things that I just want to be able to mention real quick in relation to the inviting people in the project to be able to get into that flow of collaborating on lives with other people, also in the co-op or other people in the community, because that's a very powerful idea, and not even just like sporadic lives, but also like creating a routine of lives where you can kind of schedule things in so that your audience can know when to show up. That's a huge difference opposed to just like randomly going live. If you can create like, okay, every day at every Wednesday at 4 p.m. or something like that, me and such are going to go live, that can be a very powerful idea. And another thing that I'll just plant the seed for this now because this has been an idea for quite some time, is I want to be able to spend time in interviewing people within the community to be able to create like featured interviews to help, again, just kind of like show the amazing people that are working here together in the community. So stay tuned for that. I'll kind of be like reaching out to people individually as well as like interviewing people outside of the community, but that's always a really powerful idea to be able to give people that platform to share their stories. But yes, Yuga, thank you again. And again, I really like the idea of just like getting into the habit of practicing being on camera and doing it on Instagram lives is a great way to be able to do it. So awesome. Okay, let's keep passing the talking stick around, and Josh, will pass it over to you. Just give me 2 seconds here. I just have to click something and I'll prompt you in a second, and allow me to just okay. All right, Josh, when you're ready, go right ahead, dude.
Yeah, like you were just saying, and like Hugo was just saying, even after doing that live with Genna on Sunday, I really got called to collaborate with anybody who's working with any kind of energy, or basically anybody that's creating content, anybody that's doing anything within the community. Or yeah, I want to start bringing live to my channel, to my Instagram, to all that. And I wrote a few things down that I just kind of want to create, and I really want to talk about the importance of some things that really just in my life as a tool that I use for my spirituality. And so talking about the importance of like living in the moment, and talking about the importance of meditation, and also, making short meditations for people to really just get into like relaxation. Maybe if they're beginners or intermediates, I want to kind of go between the two and go back to the first time that I felt meditation was really helping me, because I want to be able to bring as many people as we can into this higher vibration, and also a couple other things I wrote down was chakras, dimensions, energy, contrast, and healing, because those are all big parts of my life right now. I'm actually going through a self-employment program that's helping me move along with my my energy healing business. I'm writing up a concept plan right now to submit to a committee, and it's going to be like a business that I'm going online and into the community with. So I'm really putting the vision out there to become a healer for now anyway. Like, I have big dreams, but got to start somewhere, right? So just, yeah, that just came to me like yesterday, or yesterday actually, yeah, that I wanted to start collaborating with everybody I can, because I really like hearing what other people like can bring out of me, and also what they have to say about everything.
Awesome. Awesome. That's beautiful to hear, Josh. And again, like I think it's really powerful with the way Instagram works these days, where again, like every one of us has a unique audience to our Instagram. And so it's cool because, Josh, as you kind of get into this habit of creating content, there's going to be people who are going to start to see you as a creator. And if you kind of like posture yourself in such a way, and also create the invitation maybe for people within your immediate community to be able to like come in and talk to you, that can be really great, because again, that every time you do that, it's a way for you to develop relationship with people. And again, like that's always something you'll hear me talking about, is that every time we're creating a piece of content, it's really an invitation for us to be able to develop the relationship that we have with our audience. So again, like you don't need like 100,000 people on your Instagram. If you even just have like 100, and then out of that you get like these routine of people who are coming in, and you're creating a platform where you're inviting them onto your IG lives, for example, to be able to talk, that can be really powerful for them, as well as giving you some very valuable experience in practicing like holding space, and also just being able to help inspire them, and being able to get like more clarity to see how you show up in that moment. So little things like that are really great, and I think it's always important that when you do that you just kind of get very clear on what container you're creating, so that when people are invited in, they know like what game it is they're playing. They know kind of like what it is, what the intention of the invitation on air is supposed to be. Because sometimes, if it's not clear, if you were to just be like, all right, everyone, like, like I'm inviting people on air to just like spill their soul and to like tell me, all the things that are wrong with their life or something like that. Like, yeah, again, like that's a very like noble thing to be able to hold space for, but you also have to be very mindful of like the energy that you're kind of like putting into your space that you're creating. So just kind of like finding that balance where you're like still giving yourself to people without giving too much of yourself to people in a way that just kind of like might end up draining you in a sense. So again, like this is kind of, and this is actually an article I want to be able to write within the near future, and this goes for everyone here. Hashtag for 2019 or something like that. Don't let your generosity kill you, is basically like what I'm encouraging people to keep in mind, because I think all of us here are very heart-oriented people. But again, it's a very, very open heart is a noble thing, but it's actually not what is needed. What is needed is a balanced heart. So that balanced heart will allow us to play that like longer game, and as well as just kind of like practicing creating those healthy boundaries is very important, especially for all of us who are involved on like kind of like that energetic healer type level. So just something to keep in mind in terms of getting very clear on what container it is that you are creating when you're doing your IG lives. So does that make sense, Josh?
For sure. It gave me a little bit of insight on kind of how I would approach the whole live thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so again, that can be just kind of like themed around specific topics, or just like kind of making sure that the people you bring on are people who maybe you already know or something like that, opposed to just being completely open ended or something like that. So yeah.
Yeah, because I have a lot of people on my Instagram that are kind of from this group too. So
Mm-hmm,
I'd
mm-hmm.
probably start off
Yeah.
with some of the people that are already included, that I already have a little bit of sense of what they're doing and what they kind of want to talk.
Totally, totally. That's a good place to start. And
Like Alchemist with his
yeah,
art, or Shine Bright Earthling with, like, or Tai Chi and all that. So
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and another thing I'll just mention for everybody here who's getting into the routine of creating lives on their Instagram or wherever else, become aware of the fact that like within the chat, and I might move this up in the chat just so it's more obvious. We have the team media feeds, and actually I'm just gonna rechange the name of this right now while I'm still thinking of it. But we have a stream underneath the media productions called, or a channel called Live Streams, and I'm literally just changing. It used to be called Live Broadcast, but I'm changing it to Live Streams. So basically, the way how this is set up, there's a channel underneath Team Media Feeds, and again, I may move this. I may just move it up so it's more visible for everyone. It called Live Streams, and basically, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to use this stream within the Discord chat to post ahead of time when you're going live. So you would say like literally just, hey everyone, like I'm going live on IG at 3 p.m. today. Post a link to your IG profile, and what is happening now is that specific stream, that specific channel within our Discord co-op is actually publishing to the main website. So when people are on the main website, they're going to be in the habit of kind of like clicking the feeds to see what else is new in terms of, new entries, new videos, and also new live streams. So be aware that like as we develop more traffic for the main website, people will be able to click on that button, and then the live stream information will be able to show up, and that will be a way to be able to help direct people into your content as well. So utilize that. That is there for your benefits. That is there for you to be able to receive the value from that. So and again, that's currently under Team Media Feeds. The channel is Live Streams, so be sure to check that out. So cool. All right, Josh, anything else at the moment?
yeah, I might have to log off pretty quick. I have to drive someone to town at 9.
Okay, cool. All right, man. Well, it was good to hear from
But
you, and happy Moon Day. So
yeah, I just wanted to thank you for, that broadcast you did last night. I cried really good last night.
awesome. Thanks, man.
And I howled a lot.
Oh, we did. We held good. So, and again, like whenever you guys like hear me do those meditation broadcasts, take as much inspiration as you can from that. Let like you've kind of become aware of how I do my storytelling. Let that kind of be inspiration for you to do your own versions of storytelling. Even kind of like echo similar themes. Invite people into this deep place where with what I use a lot is like the power of symbols and the power of stories that can really help like move people into certain places and help bring forth its clarity. And just to give you some quick feedback for anybody here, when I do those meditations, basically what I do is I create like a rough skeleton draft where I have like my main points, so like my introduction, my calibration, my character introduction, and then like something that happens, something else that happens, something else that happens, conclusion. And then so basically like what I do is that once I kind of got that skeleton, I have the story in my mind, then the rest of it I'm kind of like delivering in the moment, and all that kind of like additional dialogue is just kind of like there because it's me telling the story, not because I've literally written out like pages of exactly what I'm going to say. So again, that's like just something that I would encourage everyone here to kind of get into the habit of trying, that idea of like meditative storytelling, because that is essentially, our role here as creators is to be storytellers, is to be story creators. So really, for everyone here, I really encourage you to reflect on this. What is the story that you are telling? And again, like this story is like kind of like the one of like the resurgence of our human essence into our potential as multidimensional beings, and the ways that we're getting there are through these like little stories that we're creating day by day. So but yeah, Josh, thanks again, man. I love you, dude.
Love you too, bro.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's keep bouncing around. We got a few people in here. Shout out to Erica who joined. Shout out to Rick. Shout out to Drew. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. And again, just as a quick recap, we're just going around the circle. At the beginning, I mentioned encouraging everybody to buy a small journal that they can fit in their pocket to be able to write down inspirational notes to be able to use for content creation each day, as well as using the website evernote.com, which I'll include into the production notes, which syncs notes between your mobile and your desktop. And now we're going around the circle with the basic questions of what are some of your media intentions for this week, as well as what are some things you want to collaborate on. So we'll keep moving through here, and yeah, we'll pass the talking stick to who would like to go next. And Genna, go ahead.
Hello. So, just bouncing off of, what Josh said, we started a show podcast this week that we will be continuing every Sunday, just unconscious relationships, but also outside of that, just talking about other awakenings, things within spiritualities like chakras and um, dreams and etc. So we will be continuing that every single week from 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 9 a.m. Pacific Time, and we're really excited for that. Right now, him and I are trying to figure out like maybe a better platform so we can talk about that, Brendon, maybe at another time. There was a little bit of problems we faced this week where I accidentally deleted it from my story because I thought it was like a tester video from the night before. And then it didn't save on my phone, I think probably because of the storage. So I'm trying to figure out like another platform, maybe YouTube that would post like live. So we're trying to like get over that hurdle. And then on a personal note, I will be making a YouTube video today. And I'm currently bouncing between, two different ideas. One bouncing off of the meditation we did last night about just coming to terms with our dark side, accepting our dark side as a part of us instead of just pushing it away. And then also, once we accept ourselves and we accept our own dark side, how we can then transmute that into our conscious relationships with people and accepting their dark sides and bettering the relationship that we have. So that's one topic. And then the other one that I'm considering is what is success and what is a successful person look like? How do we define success? And um, that is based off of a talk that I was listening to by Wayne Dyer today. Um, so I'm currently going between those ideas. And then I'm supposed to have a meditation tonight at my house. So I have a lot of good things on the horizon for myself. And I'm just excited to just expand out with, other people and just have other people reflect back at me and just help me to succeed as well as, I want to be that light for other people as well. So, yeah, that's where I'm at in my life.
Awesome. Thank you, Genna. And yeah, no, it was great to see you and Josh getting into the initial flow of creating your broadcast. And remind me again, what's the schedule for that? What's the current routine for that? Just so I can write it down.
Yeah, so it's Sundays, 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 12 p.m. for you.
Yep. Okay, perfect.
And that will be every single Sunday. It will be an
Cool.
hour-long broadcast.
Cool.
And yeah, we're really, really excited. And, I'm writing down ideas for next week too. And me and Josh will talk about that later, what we want to talk about. So.
Awesome. Sweet. Yeah. And again, yeah, just getting into doing some like test broadcasts before then to make sure that you're like making that saving the content works for you. And then even just practicing like re-uploading that to YouTube would be one option. And yeah, again, like the IG broadcasts, they have like the pros and their cons to it. And But again, like the idea that like the video only stays up for 24 hours, and if you don't save it, it's literally gone. So either you're saving it and then you're uploading it to IGTV is one option, or you're kind of like using your IG lives as kind of like a more casual thing, and then you're saving your official broadcast for your YouTube, where you're using like YouTube Google Hangouts. And that's another thing that I would encourage everyone here to get a little bit more familiar with in terms of just figuring out how to create the Google Hangouts through their YouTube channel, which again is something that I can help you with as well, because that kind of just like increases the production value a little bit, whereas like the IGTVs can get a little bit glitchy and stuff like that. So I mean, in terms of quality content, I think it is always valuable to kind of use the platforms that are going to have like the better quality, and usually that would be the YouTube. But again, playing with the IGTV still has its benefits, so it's kind of pick and choose in which one works best for you. But yeah, Genna, have you ever used like Google Hangouts to do a live broadcast before?
Just with you, and
Yeah.
I know that when you've done them before, it kind of has all of us like at the bottom. But
Mm-hmm.
would it pale like me and Josh side by side like it does on
Right,
Instagram?
right. So another thing to use for that would be oh God, why am I forgetting the name of it? Zoom. It would be another one that can do like the side and side, and that would be something to look into as well as live .be or something. There's another one for Facebook that kind of has like a really simple format that might work, and I think it can go over to YouTube. I'll have to do some little bit more research in that and see what I can find for you guys in terms of options for live broadcast. But yeah, no, it's definitely something to look more into. But again, just getting into the
Yeah.
the flow of talking on camera is definitely like good practice, and then the production stuff will kind of get more refined as you go. So but yeah, thumbs up for
I did
doing
want to
it.
say
So
really quickly, I did find a couple apps where you can download your stories from Instagram.
Oh,
So if you
really?
want that, message me and I can link you.
those apps that I've found haven't been ones that can download your live videos, though. Are they ones that can download your live
Yeah,
videos, Yuga? They can? Okay, cool,
yeah.
sweet.
I've downloaded my lives.
Oh,
I
okay.
posted them on IGTV and I'm gonna post them on YouTube
Cool,
soon.
cool. Yeah, I'd love to know which one those are as well. So yeah, you can post those
Yeah.
into the production notes, or sorry, into the work lounge notes, following this, or when you get a chance, or just even in main chat's fine. So cool, cool. Okay, sweet. All right, Jenna, anything else at the moment?
Nope. Just so in the Hangout, does it go side by side or does it not?
No, with Google Hangouts, yeah, you kind of have to like click individually one at a time who's the bigger person on the screen at the moment. So, but with Zoom, then you can do like the side and side, and also the live.be, I think, if that's what it's called. I'll have to
Okay.
double check.
Okay.
But yeah, again, stuff like that, like, part of it is just like playing around with a few things and then
Okay.
figuring out what's going to work
All
best for
right.
you.
Well, thank you.
No problem. Thank you too. Okay, let's keep moving around. And again, we got quite a few people in the chat, so let's just be mindful and try to wrap things up by 12:30 as best as we can. And again, I'll be available for any one-on-one stuff if you guys need me. Just let me know ahead of time and we can kind of schedule things in, because I want to be able to keep my focus on the website for today. But I am available. Just let me know. So who would like to go next? Please feel free to unmute themselves, and we'll pass the talking stick over to you. So giving it a second. Who's going to be the next person on The Price is Right? Step right up. Cool. Manders. Good morning, Manders. Are you awake? Oh, Manders, I'm not hearing you now. Oh, wait. No, there's a noise. Okay, Manders, go. Okay, Manders, I think you might need to just like get the microphone working again. I think it's glitching. So if we're like,
Can you hear me now?
now we can. Okay, perfect.
Okay,
Mazel
sorry about
tov.
that. Yeah, I'm having some major headset issues.
Okay.
Yeah, so let me pull up my notes again here. So this week, well, today I'm gonna be posting an Instagram video, basically like my intentions video that we were talking about before. Just kind of putting it out there, my intentions and how I'm been rebranding as well, and just kind of setting expectations for how I want to kind of create the space in Instagram. And I'm looking at working on my next blog. I'm thinking about doing one about thoughts being um, manifestation and creation, basically just how powerful your thoughts are. And then I have also on Instagram, I need to finish my sacred geometry set that I've been working on. And let's see. Oh, I'm going to start writing up a script that I want to do for a video about psychic abilities. And as far as collaborations, I've already been talking with Gabriel about like, well, I had some questions about, the psychic abilities, and I was just kind of bouncing ideas off of people, and he actually helped me out a lot with that. But I was thinking I was going to collaborate with him on kind of like a psychic X-Men school idea. And me and Tamara have already talked about, she's sending me a book, and then we're going to collaborate on um, ideas about alternative addiction therapy. And I want to interview some artists like Sylvie, Gemini artist. She did a beautiful collage for me. And so I was thinking I would interview her. And then someday I have this fantasy that I'm going to go to like a seminar like Abraham Hicks, and I'll be able to like write up a report about my experience doing the seminar. So I'm putting that out there in the universe that that's going to be on the deck someday.
Awesome.
So I got a lot in the works.
Yeah, that's wonderful, man. There's definitely a lot to be able to work through there. So that's great that you're already plotting out the course. And yeah, again, for anybody here, I really encourage you guys to kind of get into that mindset again of being like journalists for the shift in consciousness. So if there's events that are coming up, and this is kind of what I was talking about at the beginning of the broadcast, like those windows of opportunity, those windows of opportunities could be events that are happening where it would be like a good place for you to be able to document something that's only going to happen once. And so if you're going there, then you can either just be present and kind of be taking some pictures and create like a cool written article about it, or you could even plan to be able to do some like interviews with people there and to create a little video about it. So even for you, Manders, as much as you're talking about creating a written thing for the Abraham Hicks, that could also be something where you could go there and kind of like get some short questions with people who you meet there just for a little, fun YouTube video that you're making, you can tell them. So just kind of getting everyone kind of in that mindset to kind of keep your eyes open for like events happening in your community that might be something that you could show up for, to be able to help share and to also be of service to, maybe there's like a really cool place within your community that could use some promotion that you want to be able to help highlight, like a local business that's doing something really awesome and related to like shifting consciousness. You could kind of go there and let them know and kind of create like a little, it could even be just like an Instagram post or whatever, but just kind of think about that, how your skill set is something of value that you can be able to provide to be able to help assist your community. So that's a very, very powerful idea. So yeah, no, I think that's really cool, Manders, that you got a lot going on there in terms of like the blog ideas, creating sacred geometry for the IG, the video about psychic abilities, or collaborating with Gabe, aka Donio. And again, I love the idea of for collaboration. Again, we were kind of like talking about collaborating on videos and stuff like that, but a great way to be able to collaborate on things with people would be collaborating on like written articles where there's two people simultaneously doing research on a particular topic. That's a great way where, again, kind of going back to like that old school kind of like school project, you would think, be like, okay, I'm going to do some research on this part, you're going to do some research on this part, and then we're going to bring our ideas together, and then we're going to kind of create like this really cool, awesome presentation in that way. So yeah, Manders, again, I'm super, super excited to be able to just hear that you got a lot of ideas flowing around. And yeah, no, it's very exciting. So thank you, Manders.
Thank you.
Awesome. Sweet. Okay, let's keep moving around. And whoever would like to go next, please feel free to unmute themselves. And we will pass the talking stick over to you. And we'll pass it over to Rick next. So good morning, Rick. Welcome.
Good morning. Can you all hear me okay?
sounds a little fuzzy. Like there's kind of like a pitch in the background. Maybe if you just want to either move closer, or I'm not sure if it's a different
No,
microphone.
it is a different microphone. I got my
Okay.
headset on. My kids are sleeping, so
Okay.
I
Okay.
got it into my ears.
Okay. We'll just give you a second.
Is that better?
That does sound better. So I'm just gonna mute myself and go ahead.
Perfect. Wonderful. Well, thank you all. Good morning and aloha. And so the immediate intentions that I've set for this week have been a continuation of the live scheduled videos with live masters. And one of the main reasons I'm doing these live videos more in mainstream is to penetrate the mainstream media with this esoteric knowledge, if you will. So literally widening the audience. I've become less and less afraid of, exposure, if you will, of being. There's quite a lot of fear out there in mainstream. When you start talking about esoteric knowledge, you start talking about the things that I hear everyone in here is just embedded. This is your life, and mainstream is in fear of this at times. I got 2 phone calls this week, and specifically about interviewing Brendon on Tuesday. And one of them was a kid that I'd mentored, and he said to me, he says, dude, what's going on with you? Where are you, you know, what's your intention? Where are you going? Where are you going with this? This is like have you looked at this guy's profile? It's a little deep, a little darker. It's like, wow, okay, really? And my wife said the same thing. Hey, why are you going down this road? This is not so readily accepted. And the topic about behind, I did something in one of my videos that said taking the red pill. Once you take the red pill, you can never go back. And what I found fascinating is she started like researching the red pill and came up with this entire group that is, bashing women, basically the feminine, and based on taking the red pill. And there's this whole other society, and that's what she pulled up when Googling, taking the red pill. And she says, "Are you part of this group? I'm like, absolutely not. Everything that I stand for, everything that I believe is this really is it's all about love and acceptance of who and where everything, where others are at this moment in time." And so my immediate intention is really just to continue to go fearlessly into the mainstream, penetrating the mainstream, opening it up for dialogue. I want to expand the channel on YouTube and Instagram, expanding with the Breath of Eli, and elaborate more on modalities. Kind of tuning into and taking. Here's the idea for my platform, if you will, our collaborate. This is always a collaboration for me, so I see myself just working with others, interviewing others continually, taking different perspectives and bringing them into the mainstream. But specifically, I look at doing this on a boat, on a boat that I'm going to be traveling around the world on. See, next is shifting the paradigm, right? Putting the money back into the hands of the people. That's really my aim. My goal is taking all the money out of the big media corporations, big advertising, putting it back into the hands of the people for doing what they would do naturally, and re-educating the public. So next is, there's so much to do, but for this week, I'll focus on those things at this moment. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate you, Brendon. Thank you for the collaboration. Much to learn.
Awesome. Thank you, Rick. And if I can just ask you to mute yourself while I reply, just so the feedback's cut off. Perfect. Thanks. Absolutely. Thank you, Rick. And thank you for just reiterating again, like within this project, I really want people to kind of get into this mindset that, even when I started this, like that was kind of my intention, was to be able to help, bring more of this knowledge to mainstream culture. And part of the ways that we do that is by figuring out how should that content look so that it's going to be more accessible to mainstream culture? Because if it comes off as being like, you know, too out there, then it's not going to be something that people are going to be able to digest. So a part of your job, a part of our job is really to be able to, and again, this is kind of like going back to like the way Einstein would explain it, of being able to, you know, take a complex idea but explain it simply. So for everybody here, you know, I really encourage you to look at some of these bigger ideas, and how can you explain it in a way that someone who might not be totally into metaphysics would still be able to understand it, and also perhaps even still be able to get something practical out of it as well? Because again, you know, like that's like such a powerful idea. You know, it's one thing to just like preach to the choir for, you know, decades and decades, but what we got to do is just kind of like start like showing other people how these conversations are something that they can be invited to be a part of without it feeling like it's something above their head or too exclusive. So just kind of keep that in mind, is that like whenever you're talking about this stuff, how can you say the exact same thing yet simplified, crystallized in that sense? So Rick, I think it's really cool that, again, you know, you got a clear idea of what it is that you're doing, the purpose behind what it is that you're doing. And again, me and Rick have a scheduled interview for tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my time. And I'm looking forward to that. And that's going to be up on Facebook, but we'll post a link for that here within the chat. And yeah, that'll just be a cool way for me to be able to practice, you know, if people on his audience might have questions about me and everything like that, that'd be pretty cool. And Rick, sorry, just for clarification, you were saying that like somebody reached out to you who knew me and who was just kind of like asking about you interviewing me. Was that my understanding of that, what you were saying earlier there? And go ahead and unmute yourself.
No, what's happened? They didn't know you in any way, shape, or form. They just looked up your profile, right? That's simply all they did. Somebody that knows me, and this would be, you know, somebody that I would say is fairly religious. And so anytime you get into, you know, fundamental, you know, Christianity, or fundamental where someone is stuck in a center, this is one way. Not all knowledge resides in one school, in your school. And you know, one of my teachers had said to me not so long ago, you know, think not that all wisdom resides in your school. Because
Yeah.
it doesn't. And so when we get focused on one theme, and that's the only theme, we blocked out everything. We just literally just blocked out everything. And so that comment came in fear. It was the resistance of, you know,
Gotcha.
because he trusts me. He trusts me explicitly, and he says, Rick, everything you pointed me in the direction of is man, I've had to research, and I've accepted it, and it's enriched my life. And yet, you know, here you are, you're going out, you're going to talk to this dude who's talking about, you know, crystals. And
Who is this
you know,
Skull Babylon? What
yeah,
is this
right,
demon worshiper? Watch out.
right.
I know.
So it's just fear. And when we can accept,
Mm-hmm.
like when we can just accept that what is, without, then we can move through the resistance. And I don't know. I'm just grateful and thankful for you. Thank you, Brendon, for being true to your calling and following your path. And each one of us has a path that, you know, stay steadfast, follow your heart, listen to your heart, listen to the passion bubbling up within you that has got to come out. Do what you would do. If nobody paid you to do what you're doing, you've got to do that. You know, it's just got to come out. Be that, do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Rick. And thank you for the clarification on that. Yeah, that's okay. So that makes sense to me. So I'll keep that in mind, that even for tomorrow's interview, that there are going to be people who might be coming from the perspective of a more fundamentalist Christian mindset, which again is honestly totally cool, because like, to me, that's just kind of like another opportunity to show that, like, hey, you know, like this is something that kind of transcends religion. This is something that is really just about, you know, like compassion and just being able to like understand the potential of who we are. And that's always been the thing where like I don't feel I need to talk about what I do in a way that actually makes it like too out there. I've always kind of like intentionally made my content fairly relatable, fairly grounded. And again, that goes back to the idea of making it so that it's something where people who may be unfamiliar with this stuff can still feel like they can talk to me about it. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. And again, like I can imagine, yeah, like an initial reaction from somebody who may be a Christian fundamentalist, if they see you interviewing somebody named Skull Babylon, that's immediately going to kind of like bring up a reflection in them. But that's honestly like, this is just like part of the reason why I use the name Skull Babylon, is to kind of like give people that mirror test where there's like, what does that mean? Like, what does it mean to me? Like, that sounds like something scary. But in actuality, like, the name itself is a symbol, which kind of relates to like the rebirth of consciousness and culture. So I'll talk about that during the broadcast, and yeah, it'll be good practice to be able to see where that goes. So again, Rick, thank you for sharing and for just continuing to ripple the inspiration to the unique audience that you have access to, because there's people who you have access to that I might not be able to reach, and now that we're collaborating, we're able to kind of like continue to kind of just like ease the messages further out there across culture and across religion. And yeah, no, it's super powerful. So awesome. Thank you, Rick. And again, you know, something that Rick said that I just encourage everyone to keep in mind, you know, think about, like, if you were literally already a millionaire, what type of content would you be creating? What would you want to be building? What would you want to be sharing? Really think about that, because like that at its essence is like your purpose. If you can really kind of figure out what it is that you would be doing if no one was paying you, or if you were already a millionaire, listen to that and then do it now. And then that's going to kind of just like help like really just bring up like your whole reality. So super cool stuff. Okay, let's keep moving around, guys. Again, I want to be able to wrap this broadcast up by 12:30, so just be mindful. And again, if anybody needs to talk to me afterwards, just let me know. But we'll keep bouncing around. So passing the talking stick to whoever would like to go next. And we still have Gemini, aka Erica, Drew. We have Mike. Aloha, Mike. Thank you for joining. And Matthew and Arita, aka Songbird, as well. So anybody who would like to go next, please feel free to unmute your microphone and we will pass the talking stick over to you. And again, just sharing some of your media intentions for this week, as well as any sort of collaboration ideas that you want to plant some seeds for the future. So opening that up to Erica. I knew it was going to be Erica. Okay, we'll do we'll do Erica, and then we'll do Matthew right after that. So Erica, go right ahead. And
can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Good morning.
Okay,
and welcome.
perfect. Fantastic. I missed y'all so much. I haven't been able to. So, yeah, I definitely have an intention of, hopefully, just really, I'm trying not to get, controlling about it, but I would like to meet the right people this week, because our grand opening for the studio is on Friday. And to be quite honest, I have not enough entertainment for what I'm trying to do. It's just kind of like very few people that I already know. And I was really hoping to like do something more, which, I think that just goes into, the planning side of it. I've been so focused on so much of the other moving pieces that finding entertainment, or not entertainment, but people to collaborate with. And it's funny how the question for today is collaboration wise. I wish somebody lived in Texas so I could just invite you to this Friday and maybe like, you can do like a little meditation for us or something. But really, I would like to at least be able to post more content on our website, because our website is up and I've been kind of like hassling with that a lot this past week, and I finally got it. And so now that it's kind of like out and published, I want to be able to kind of like refine what's out there and what people are being what they see. But in the end, I think with what's on there as far as like who we are and what we are, I like that it doesn't really quite say dance studio, because my friend was like, well, are you still offering dance classes? I'm like, obviously, I mean, it still says dance classes, but because I'm trying to step out of the box of just is more, hey, mindfulness, well-being, this is the place, and there's so many creative ways to tap into that, flow state. And it's really all it's about, it's hey, this is a safe space. We're just holding space, for it. And really, I don't want to be in the work of it all. I don't want to be like in the spotlight. I want to be able to step away and
so we just
what they want to do. And kind of piggybacking into your collaboration question, as far as our community, I would like to be able to collaborate with anyone. It doesn't have to be, like in a public sense. I mean, it can be. That's good practice. But I think just even being able to okay, I know Win Girl on Instagram, her and we were messaging back and forth, and I love that she sometimes shares like TV show stuff and breaks it down in a way to where she'll comment and she'll see the message in it or something. And I feel like that's totally something that I do all the time. So I think a collaboration idea that I have written down that would be dope to do is just kind of like how you said, look up an article. This would be more like a TV show, talk about an episode of something and kind of do a little, I don't know, it could be a live video or just create something to where we can kind of put our perspectives into it, because I think that would be super magical for people to be able to then watch that content themselves, go back to Netflix or go and movies and be like, damn, I didn't even think about that, or damn, that's a great way to put it. I don't know, but so yeah, definitely trying to get things moving on a physical sense at the studio. It's looking kind of crazy right now. I gotta finish painting. I did that, but the primer wise and stuff, I have not finished the important shit. It just looks super crazy in there right now. So then there's that. but it'll get done. I know it'll get done. I love that you asked the question, because again, it forces me, not forces me, but it kind of guides me and centers me into okay, there's the chaos, we know it's there, but this is what's really important. So yeah, that's all I got.
Awesome. Thank you, Erica. And yeah, no, absolutely. You've been working so hard this last month and it's paying off. And again, moving into this is just an idea I'll just kind of suggest for you, because it's kind of similar to what we're doing with the main website. You're kind of talking about how you have the grand opening this Friday. One thing that you may want to play with is kind of actually doing a soft grand opening and then a bigger grand opening literally in a month from now. So the first grand opening, you can call it an opening type thing, but kind of maybe even make it with the intention of it being maybe a little bit more private sort of thing, and then just kind of understand that that first month is really just going to be about kind of getting word of mouth out there, and then even as you do that, that will actually lead up you to your bigger grand opening, which literally could be in a month from now. So instead of just to kind of do that, because maybe that will just kind of alleviate some of the pressure, because otherwise you can kind of get into this mindset of maybe the quote unquote grand opening might not be as grand as you would have hoped it would have been, and then somehow you're going to create this narrative where it's going to be oh no, it wasn't perfect or something like that. Whereas if you just kind of it was okay, let's do a soft opening, and then just understand that this is just bringing people in, and then those people are going to help you with that bigger opening down the road or something. That's just something that I've seen other businesses do. So just putting it out there, if that's something that maybe makes sense and maybe even alleviates a little bit of the pressure that you might be feeling currently. So
most definitely. I mean, it's already it's crazy that you're saying this, because I swear it's it's funny, but when synchronicities happen, it's just it's kind of airy. But I was actually thinking that to myself, because exactly what you said, man, that whole it's not going to be as grand, that voice in my head already started talking, and that damn grand opening ain't even here yet. And that's just how much pressure I put on myself for things to just be right. And when it's not, I just get so overworked out. So definitely the soft opening idea. It's something that, it could be grand because it's still grand, but that doesn't
absolutely,
mean
yeah.
that it's gonna be, it doesn't, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And that doesn't mean that this is the only opportunity we're gonna have to put something out. Like you said, we can still come back a month from now and, do something else, So I appreciate you reminding me that, because I definitely been freaking out, especially with trying to get this website and shit. I've been having so much issues. Sorry, excuse my French. But I'm not too tech savvy, so it's just so much that it takes, and I really appreciate that kind of just like, hey, it is what it is, girl. Just keep it going, because I need that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And honestly, and again, I say this for anyone, look at the places where you're feeling pressure and then look at how you can release some of that pressure. Because like honestly, if things are gonna like things should be like simple and flowing when they're in like that kind of ideal state. So that pressure that you might be feeling might not actually be fully necessary. So maybe there's just like a slight little adjustment in the way that you're doing things that could just kind of change the overall effectiveness. That's going to alleviate some of the pressure for you and just kind of like create like even more space for you to just be able to focus on other things. So just keep that in mind, because maybe you're just like you've kind of set this standard for yourself, but maybe that standard can be adjusted, and maybe people in the community are still going to equally be as appreciative. You're still going to be able to provide the value that you want to be able to provide them without driving yourself crazy in the process. So really just think about that. Where can you kind of relieve some of the pressure that is being created? So
Yes, totally. Thank you, Brandon. Oh my God. So can I just say, said that? So last night I was to your meditation, and that was actually one of my things that like the dark wolf thing. It was kind of loving the parts of me that I know I have to let go of, but also accepting that those things kind of shape me in a way and make me better. But just side note, your meditation was amazing last night, and I really, 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 really appreciate it. And again, just now, kind of like you said, those bars that I'm setting for myself is not necessary sometimes, and I'm more and more trying to acknowledge that my ways have errors, and that that's totally cool. It doesn't make me any less of a person. It's like, hey, we're trying to get better here. So
totally.
yeah, I think it's trying to not shame myself and shame the process.
Yeah. I mean, like, the fact is, like, you have already succeeded. Like, you really already have. Like, you've already, like, accomplished so much. And now, like, you kind of want to get into that mode where, like, yeah, you're still going to be working, but you're really, like, celebrating at the same time. And so kind of, like, get into that place where, like, yeah, it's work, but it needs to feel like play. And so just finding those little places to make some subtle adjustments, not even just in the logistics, but also in the story that you're telling yourself, and just see like how that feels, and to give yourself the permission. And again, you're right, to release any shame about the idea that you've created these pressures in the first place, because sometimes those pressures we create for ourselves in the first place are there to be able to help teach us the benefits of understanding that we can release those pressures without feeling the shame as well. So like sometimes that's kind of why they show up in the first place. So it's like something like that.
Hey,
So.
I'm here. Okay, bye.
Okay. All right, Erica, thank you so much. And again, keep in touch, and we'll all be rooting for you, and all the best. This is going to be an awesome week. So sweet. Okay, let's keep moving around, guys. It's almost 12:30, but Erica, was there anything else? Was that good for now?
No, I'm done. Thank you.
You're doing it. You're doing it. Okay. All right, let's keep moving around. I want to be able to pass it over to Matthew, and then if Mike actually wants to go next as well, we'll have time for that, and also Drew. And so Matthew, go ahead, and welcome to the co-op. Thank you so much for being here, brother, and go right ahead. And you can just do a little introduction for yourself as well, as maybe just talk to people a little bit about some of the content that you've already gotten into the habit of creating, and again, answering the questions we have going around the circle as well. So go ahead, dude.
Cool, thank you. Hello, everyone. Really happy to be here. Very inspiring. So yeah, I basically I was I don't remember the name. Someone was talking about to make this content like more available to the public in general, and I thought it was very like that's really what I want to do. I really like to meditate every day, do yoga, and I've done so many like holotropic breathing and like shamanic experience and everything. But the main thing is I feel like it's so hard for people to get around these kind of thing. So my main goal when I'm trying to create ever since, and I've been dreaming about that for years now, is to make some piece of content that is going to be is gonna make all of these concepts more available, more easy to understand, or softer on the perception for people. And so I started to create YouTube video.
Oh, 1 second. Matthew, I think we lost your sound there. Not
Hi,
sure.
can you?
Yeah, okay,
Can
you're
you
good now.
understand me?
Okay, go ahead.
Oh,
Continue.
okay. So yeah, I'm just creating YouTube video for, yeah, basically just to share this kind of what I experience and how to be more practical. Can these kind of things be practical? And so that's what I want to work on the next week. I've already just recorded a new one on how to stop feeling stuck in our life. So I just need to make the editing and everything and be ready for next Friday. And I wanted to work also on Instagram and Pinterest because I'm really new to this, and I heard Pinterest can be good if you know how to manage it. So I don't want to take too much time. I'm just happy to listen to everyone. I just want to get like inspired, and it's very fun to be here and see what openings there can be. And as far as teaming up, I'm really open. I like to talk a lot about like spiritual stuff and philosophy, so that'd be more like speech writing is kind of my thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't want to take too much time, but thank you for having me. And obviously, the meditation yesterday was amazing. So thank you very much for that.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Matthew, again. And for those looking to check out Matthew's content, Matthew, post the videos that you have online into the main chat after this production meeting so that people can get a chance to check those out as well. And again, even the content that you've already created with there, like that's pretty much ready to publish on the main website. So we can help get that set up. And absolutely, I would get you set up with an Instagram profile first and foremost. Pinterest, I'm not entirely an expert on it, but absolutely, you know, there's audience everywhere, so I'm totally open to the idea of, you know, figuring out what Pinterest might have to offer. And yeah, no, I think it's a cool idea. So yeah, man.
Yeah, my girlfriend is pretty good with Pinterest, so
Cool.
that's why I don't know anything about it yet. She has to teach me. So.
Yeah,
I'll come
exactly,
back to
right?
you.
Yeah, listen to somebody who already knows how to use it and figure out like what works. But yeah, no, like there is a lot of spiritual content on Pinterest. Again, I honestly haven't delved into that, but yeah, even just getting you set up on IG, that'll be awesome too, because then we can help link people into your profile there. And yeah, no, that'll
Okay,
be
yeah,
cool,
I'll
man.
do that.
Perfect,
Yeah,
perfect,
cool.
man. Sweet, awesome. I'm looking forward to working more with you, and go Team Canada, yeah. Okay, cool.
One love.
One
Take
love.
care.
Thank you, Matthew. Okay, let's keep passing talking to ground, and we do have Drew and we do have Mike in here. So again, we just want to be able to invite them to be able to share. We are going around the circle just with the questions of what are some media intentions you have for this week, as well as what are some things that you want to collaborate on in the coming future as well, just to be able to plant those seeds and invite other people in the community to be able to sync up. So Mike or Drew, if one of you wants to unmute yourself, please feel free to do that, and we will pass the talking stick over to you and wrap the meeting up very shortly. So whoever wants to go next, please feel free to unmute themselves, and we'll pass it over to Mike. Mike, welcome to the production co-op. Thank you so much for being here, brother.
Well, thank you, Brendon. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. The microphone sounds like a little bit kind of like fuzzy, but if that's all that you got right now, then that's okay. So.
Yep, I've got need to invest in a new mic, especially if we're going to be having more types of calls like this. But hey, I appreciate. I'm sorry I haven't been able to make some of the earlier calls, but excited to be here. Quick backstory, because I know we want to wrap things up, but my name's Mike. I'm a web developer, system architect. I've worked in corporate America, my whole life, and I got hit with this this information, this download, this awakening. You guys know exactly what I'm referring to. Probably it was October of last year, and I can say I haven't been able to sleep since, because I've just been out there in the dream world, putting all of this together. And once you've kind of once you've kind of unlocked this world and kind of seen how the pieces of it fit together, you can't go back. You just can't go back. So what I want to be able to do, for the community as a whole and for you guys here is use the experience and the background and the knowledge that I have to do exactly what you were just talking about, Brendon. Take this information, compress it without losing too much of its resolution, and distribute it to everyone, to an audience, and put it out there at a level and in a place they can receive it, and start leaving those breadcrumbs, in a trail to their red pill, their awakening, and their kind of moment of understanding that they're not alone in this world. All is self, and that when we work together, we realize we are together, and our goals are your goals, and just create a beautiful world for us, a new paradigm for us to shift in. I've been going to actual content production, and I'll try to wrap it up quick. I'm not exactly a master content producer myself, but I'd like for you guys to think of me as the curator in the museum. I'm working on this platform that I'm calling STV, along with a brand called Traced Content. So if you guys, go to the supermarket and you see that non-GMO logo on the packaging, you know that if it's got the non-GMO logo on it, that means somebody, who knows who, and we won't get into, deep state infiltration right now, but somebody has deemed this product capable or worthy of that non-GMO logo. And that's what I want to build Traced Content to be. When you see the Traced Content logo on a video or a page somewhere, we know in our community that it's been, vetted by, other, consciousness professionals, or, conscious entrepreneurs. And, we know that, this is information that you can trust, that's going to help guide you along your own path, your own journey, and not lead you too far back into that matrix or into that reality. I've been playing around with some landing pages. So as far as collaboration goes, I would love for you guys to be able to check out this page right here and just let me know if it's working for you. I've had a few people tell me they end up just with a blank white screen. And I'd like to know if it's rendering properly on your page, and if it's not, are you on a phone? Are you on desktop, whatever, just to kind of give me an idea if the software is doing what it's supposed to be doing, and hopefully it is, because what this will let us do, it'll let you you here within this community create a net for exactly the type of individual that you're hoping to help. We were talking about how do we present this information to an Orthodox Christian. I just had a Jehovah's Witness show up at my door a few minutes ago. How do we present this information to them? Or and basically, I can take any YouTube playlist. So I mean, if I'm working with somebody with a conservative Christian background, I'm probably going to start them with David Vosk. If you guys haven't seen some of his information out there, really incredible stuff. And then from there, I could transition them into somebody like I can't remember the name off the top of my head, which is kind of the problem, which is why we need this here. But he's doing a lot of work in Africa, and he's talking a lot about the Christ consciousness. But he's got a beautiful presence, a beautiful character, if you can call it that, that really resonates with that conservative background there. But from there, I can transition them into something just a little bit deeper about Kundalini, something a little bit deeper about aligning our chakras, and then before we know it, we've given them a smooth landing from the world that they're in right now into their world, into their own understanding of what life is, and who God is for them, and that's what we're trying to do. So with this platform right here, we just focus on curating the artifacts in the museum, going back to my analogy there. So putting together a list of it, if you're this kind of person, I can sense you'll probably resonate with this energy here. And then, just like we would with an electrical resistor, we'll we'll channel that energy, through some different nodes, through some different points, and then bam, uh, run it through that vortex coil, and away we go. So, hold us all. If you guys have any questions, I'd love to answer them. And again, I love the feedback. So, looks like Eli, you're having some trouble with it, but so yeah, if you could send me a screenshot, or just kind of let me know exactly what's going on. I can see that somebody in the Washington area is online right now, Woodland. Not sure if that's you. And I've got one in Toronto, Brendon, so appreciate it. And the visibility, sorry if that sounds creepy to you guys, but if you think about the fear tactics that people are using right now with artificial intelligence, and the government watching everything, and everything we do is under control, and it's kind of forcing us to become so private. And honestly, I think that's the plan, is to lead us all to believe that we have to go dark, that we have to go private, that we can't share what's out here. But if the government's watching everything that we're doing, then I think we should be able to see everything that we are doing as well, to collaborate in real time, and use the technology rather than fearing the technology, to blast this rocket off. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Brendon, thank you again so much for letting me jump on today, and hopefully we can keep the conversation going.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mike. And again, just welcoming you here. And I know, like, even just for people listening to that, as Mike was saying, like, Mike's got like a background as like a web developer, system architect. And so, I mean, like, there's stuff there that like I still want to be able to just like sit down and brainstorm. And I know there's like a lot of skill sets that you have that are quite unique and quite specific that I still want to be able to learn more about, in terms of just being able to help create like more engaging web content. And there's also the thing that you were talking about before, of being able to like edit using like video clips from YouTube content and helping splice things together. I love the idea of that, of being able to like provide that for the community. So I mean, yeah, Mike, I'm happy you're here, and I know there's like going to be a lot more conversations, just to be able to kind of like get things all on the table and see what it is that we're working with, and yeah, just taking it one step at a time. But dude, thank you again, man. I appreciate you using your skill set to be able to help on like this, this bigger mission that we are all on. So yeah, man, awesome to have you here. So
not a problem. Thank you so much. And yeah, I completely forgot about the Clipper, and that's kind of the thing that kind of led all of this. But yeah, once you load that YouTube playlist in, all you have to do is hit the record button while you're watching it, and it'll section out just that piece that you want to record it, and that's the video that gets dropped into your funnel there. So if it was just 5 minutes out of that 2-hour Decimus full presentation that you wanted to put in front of somebody along that funnel there, then it's as easy as 2 clicks to make that happen. So yeah, excited about it, and can't wait to show more of it to you guys. And I appreciate the help getting all the bugs worked out.
Totally awesome. Yeah, and again, I know for like some of the people, they're going to need like a very soft introduction to some of the more advanced tech stuff that you have to offer. But again, I just love the fact that there's so many people on the team that do have this variety of expertise. So it's great that some of us are great in this thing and some of us are great in this thing. And again, I'm just really grateful to be able to have Mike on board, to be able to have like that expertise from like the web development, system architect end of things, because yeah, that's stuff that I'm not an expert in, but together we're collaborating, and that's the whole point of having a super team. So awesome. Sweet. All right, Mike, thank you again, and looking forward to chatting some more. And again, for people just looking to be able to engage either in the core chat, or even you can also put those into the work lounge notes, would be another place where you can just kind of drop in some stuff there as well, just to be able to like have it on the side of from the core chat. So cool. All right, Mike, thank you again, man. Okay, and let's move on. And Drew, if you have anything that you would like to share, please feel free to do that, even if you just want to quickly check in, and then we will wrap up the broadcast from here. So, Drew, if you want to go ahead. Good morning. Welcome, dude. Happy to have you here once again.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I don't got a whole lot to share this week. It's really just a lot of the same. Just more unfinished tracks to finish. And then I don't know, basically a big snowstorm this morning, so it's gonna be kind of hard for me to get to the city today. I might have to put it off till tomorrow, and then get my internet access and all that, and then power's out. So I'm just kind of chilling right now. But
cool.
But yeah, like I don't know. As far as collaboration in the future, without saying too much, basically I'm saving up. Should have a van here in like 4 to 6 months, and then at that point, I'm gonna be basically traveling in my off days, and then trying to hit festivals and stuff, and then anyone who wants to like collaborate and meet up, whatever, I'm open to it. As far as music, um, always working on that, so I'll have more here and there. And then I don't know, just like what everyone was touching on, and it's pretty much all I got for now.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, man. And yeah, I actually just to be able to touch base with you, what's the possibility of you maybe just like putting together a small track list of like very simple ambient things that we can start uploading to the team Google Drive? Is that something that you might be able to work on in your off time?
Yeah, yeah. I've actually got a bunch of them, just because they're not fully finished. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I could just upload them, and then if somebody likes it and then has recommendations as to what to add to it, like I've got a ton of them right now.
Cool.
I'm just really picky and like self-critical of my own work, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So it's
Yeah.
that's so I mean like, but yeah, I can upload. Got quite a few, and then I've even got some tracks that I'm gonna upload to my SoundCloud here real soon. So
Okay, cool.
um yeah, so we should, yeah, definitely I can start. I
Yeah.
just need to get to once I have internet connection, I might just have to use my Wi-Fi hotspot, and then
Okay.
just use up what I can, and then yeah, but
Cool.
whatever's I can just upload what I got, and then whoever wants it, grab it.
Yeah.
They've got like an idea they want to go with what's already there, then I can just help them out to get whatever vision they have of what they want to add to it, and then I can do my best to match it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and again, just like even with those audio tracks, like simple is always awesome and appreciated for people who are just looking for something very, basic to be able to have in the background. And so, I mean, yeah, just creating something that even is just like a 3-minute loop that people can just kind of use and duplicate into a video track. That would I always love those. Those are always really useful. So yeah, so let me know when if you got some stuff and when you're ready to start uploading it onto the Google Drive. It doesn't have to be this week. Wait till you got good internet connection to do it. But yeah, that
yeah,
would be something definitely just to mark down on our assignments. So yeah.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
definitely.
Sweet. Awesome. All right. Thank you, man. Thank you for being here once again. So
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for having me.
cool. Okay, so like I said, we're pretty much at the end, but I know Arita is in here, and so I just wanted to be able to invite Arita if they had anything that they wanted to share. Again, we were just going around with what some of our intentions in terms of media creation are for this week, and as well as any collaboration ideas that you might have in mind to work on in the future. So Arita, if you want to share anything, please feel free to do that, and then we will wrap up the broadcast. So Songbird, if you would like to go ahead, and if not, that's totally cool. And we also have time for just any general questions at the end of the production meeting, so we can open up into that. So yeah, again, just thanking everyone for being here. We'll stand by. The website is launching this week. I want to be able to actually Matthew, I actually want to be able to work with you to be able to see if we can get one of your videos up onto the website this week. That would be something to do. And even, Rick, we might even be able to do the interview with you on Tuesday and then get that uploaded as content onto the main website as well. That could be something. And again, anybody else who feels like they have some content that they're starting to get ready for the main website, just let me know, and we'll make sure it's like fitting in with the criteria and stuff. So yeah, just kind of opening up. Does anybody have any general questions or even just gratitude that they want to be able to express before the end of the broadcast, before the end of the meeting? Please feel free to do that now.
I just wanted to say thank you again. I've got to pull out and jump into another meeting. Just wanted to say grateful and thankful. And if there's an opportunity we can connect a little later, would love to do that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Rick, let me know if you have any notes going into the broadcast, like any specific topics. Like that would be great if you can kind of like create some questions that you might have for me ahead of time. That makes it
Absolutely
perfect. So, okay, cool.
Absolutely. I kind of wanted to collaborate on that too.
Yeah.
I mean, you're such an expert at doing this, Brendon, and weaving the story like you talked about, weaving the story so that it makes sense for the broadest audience, and then it just funnels back in. So
Cool.
making the connection. Thanks again, and look forward to connecting.
Perfect. Sounds great, Rick. Awesome. Thank you. All right, and anybody else? I think Erica had her mic open a second ago. If you want to add in anything, please feel free. Otherwise, again, just anybody else who had any just comments, gratitude. Erica, go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to just mention I did share the website link. And I should be good now. I know I was having some issues over the weekend, but I did get a confirmation email that it was live this time. So like it actually seems like it's actually working. So, but if anybody sees anything, I know one thing that I'm looking, I'm gonna get to it. I've been out of town all weekend. Is gonna be the font. The font is a little blurry, and because it's stacked, I don't know if it just translated weird, but I'm just gonna change it and probably unstack it so it's not shadowing or just switch it up a little bit. I don't know, maybe the placement, but I know that it's blurry. I'm aware of that part because it's a little tough to read, but I hope that you can still read through and get the message. But yeah, if y'all have any feedback, I'm super open to it. I really appreciate it.
Cool.
I
Yeah.
shared that on the core team chat and on the work.
And that's the EX3 Collective website. And yeah, I literally got it open in front of me right now. Quick feedback, and this just goes for anybody. Again, you know, like when it comes to website, when it comes to posts, always use the text that's going to be like the easiest to read. And so like even for you, Erica, just as some quick feedback, like you have like your little blurb, like the add expanded expression experience, we are dedicated ... I would even consider just changing that to a font that is not sans serif, that is like not like the one that has like the little kind of I forget, like I guess the serif is what they kind of call like those little hooks on the end of letters. I would even just change that to a little bit more of a blocky font if you want to use that, and then kind of
just have like a basic, you mean like a regular letter, like, you know,
yeah,
typical?
basic without boring, but more legible, so that if you were like standing on the other side of your room, you could still read it on a computer screen or something like that. Whereas like right now, it kind of like something like that, especially if you're reading that like in a long paragraph, it kind of like the brain is just kind of like, I don't know, it
overworked.
Yeah, almost, or something like that. So just the simple text. Yeah. Yeah, simple text and just keeping it basic and stuff like that. But it looks good. I can see you got a lot going on here. You got a page for your grand opening, your class calendar, your contact. Yeah, you know, just keeping it simple. I think that's the important thing for a website, you know, giving people the information that they need without them having to look too far to find it. So yeah. Cool. But yeah, I'll look more into it, and just let me know if you have any other questions related to that, and I might be able to help you because I'm getting more familiar with the Wix platform as well. So, but it looks good though. Man. Good job.
Absolutely.
Good job.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And
totally.
I love the logo too.
I appreciate it, man. I definitely am open because I'm also new to the Wix. So if you want to, you know, get on, you know, like a little one-on-one for like a quick 25 minutes, just like little things, because there's actually new things on there that I'm just like, I don't know what the crap. I saw there was animation, you know, like, so there's things that I definitely want to do, that I think will just kind of enhance the little bit. But yeah, totally. Thank you.
Cool. Awesome. Sweet. All right. Great job. Okay. And again, just opening up the mic. Anybody else who just has any last comments, gratitude, please feel free to do that. And then we'll wrap up the broadcast production meeting. So.
One love. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. Okay. Anybody else? We just got a few of us in the chat. Everybody else is deked out because they got work to work on. So that's cool. And again, you know, just continuing encouraging everyone to just like continue to use the chat to collaborate on stuff during the day. That's totally cool. And yeah, so with that said, I just want to be able to again just kind of keep people in the mindset of just like getting into the habit of creating that content, leveling themselves up. Keep that journal with you so that you're writing notes. Keep in touch with me if you have some content that you want to create for the website. Check with me first, and we'll just kind of like see if it's in the right direction, and then we'll kind of move forward with getting it on the main website. And yeah, other than that, have a beautiful, awesome moon day. Keep using that full moon energy. Let's use this start of the week to kind of like like create the pattern for the rest of the week. So send in lots of good vibes to everyone, and thank you so much to everyone for being here. So for everyone in the chat, let's just gently unmute our microphones and say thank you to all the people listening to this in the future as well. So say thanks everyone, we love you. Awesome.
Thank you, everyone.
Keep it
love
shifty.
you.
Cool. All right, thank you again, much love, and as always we will see you in the future. Until next time, pew pew pew, we love you.